to verify we've correctly set up this environment. So here's our tasks once again. It is to create VLANs 10, 20, 777 and assign them to the associated ports shown here. So this is switch 1 on the left and switch 2 on the right. Also, between those two switches on its two links, we're supposed to set up static 802.1q trunking on both of those links. So with these tasks in mind, let's take a look at a few commands that we could use to help verify that we have correctly implemented the solution being asked for in this assessment lab. So starting off here on switch number 1, we can verify that the VLANs exist that were asked of us by doing a show VLAN brief, pressing enter, and there is VLAN 10, there's VLAN 20, and VLAN 777. So we'd want to verify that those VLANs were on both switches. So we go on switch 2 as well and do a show VLAN brief. And sure enough, we have VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 777. Now there's more than just one way to get those VLANs on both those switches. We could set up trunking first, and after trunking's in place, we could enable VTP on both sides, and then create the VLANs on one side and have them replicate. It really doesn't matter how we implemented it, as long as we are implementing the task. So the VLANs exist on both switches. The next part of the task was to make sure that these 5 access ports as shown in the table are configured. So on switch 1, it'd be 0/1 goes into VLAN 10, and also 0/2 on switch 1 goes into VLAN 20, and then over here on switch number 2, port 1/0 goes into VLAN 10, and port 1/1 over here goes into VLAN 20, and this port right here is going to be assigned to VLAN 777, again based on this table. So right here on the output of show VLAN brief, we can verify that. So if we take a look at VLAN 10 and its assignment, we have gig 1/0. I'm looking at the table. That's assigned to VLAN 10, perfect. And gig 1/1 right here is assigned as an access port in VLAN 20. And gig 3/3 is assigned as an access port in VLAN 777. All right, that looks great. Let's take a look at switch 1 as well. Again, referring to our table, we should have gig 0/1 in VLAN 10, which it is. And we should have gig 0/2 in VLAN 20, which it is. Fantastic. And then the last step was to make sure that we have 802.1q static trunking that's happening between switch 1 and switch 2, meaning it wasn't dynamically negotiated. So to verify that, we'll do a show interface trunk and press enter. And let's take a look at our diagram again. So here's our diagram. So we have on the switch 1 side on the left, we have ports 1/2 and 0/0. And on switch 2, we have ports 1/3 and 3/0. So let's go back to our interface. And sure enough, right here, we're hard-coded to be trunking and using 802.1q. Perfect. All right, let's go verify switch 2. Over on switch 2, we'll use that same command, show interface trunk, and verify its interfaces, which is gig 1/3 and 3/0. They're both trunking, fantastic. And we can also verify some basic connectivity. We should be able to go to these PCs up here, like PC4, which is off of port 1/1. Let's take a look at our topology again. So PC4, which is off of 1/1, is in VLAN 20. So it should be able to ping across the trunk over to PC2, over to its IP address. So let's verify PC4 off of switch 2 can ping PC2 off of switch 1. So here on PC4, on this virtual machine, if you do a show IP, it verifies the IP address. And I just want to verify the IP address on PC2, and it is 172.16.0.20. So let's verify we can do that ping from PC4. So we'll do a ping to 172.16.0.20, press enter, and survey says we've got connectivity, and that connectivity is going over the trunk. So in this video, we did a verification